Board members were requesting that one that way.
Yeah, who's gonna take the camera to every spot, or who's gonna be at all the meetings?
Well, I guess it's because it's the committee members, no?
Well, yeah, but that means you have 10 people in a
This one,
month
because I know it was requested by board members,
asking to use the camera.
but unless we make a motion that all committees have to be
Yeah, yeah.
recorded, could do that, I'm fine with that.
I just figured since you have that in.
I was gonna
here-
I was gonna actually do the election ones, just to have backup too.
Yeah, you said you were gonna record.
Yeah, I was gonna start recording elections, I was, to have backup.
Oh, stop. Okay, should we get started? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take roll call. Marlene here. Michelle?
Here,
Anthony?
Here,
3 members present. We have quorum. Meeting's called to order at 6:07 PM. Can we stand and do the pledge of allegiance? Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3 is public comment. Is there anybody here for public comment? Item,
no public comments, no? I know we don't have a board member discussion or comment period to give like interaction or announcements perhaps. But I just want to mention that about an hour and a half ago today, there was a shooting down the street from my house. No one was shot. The cops did show up, and it's just another level of escalating violence that's going on in the community. The neighbors are pretty fearful of what's going on. They don't want to speak to the officers. They're reluctant to say what they see. But at some point, the evidence will come out and determine who the suspects and who's causing the trouble and the incidents that are occurring in the area. But just so you guys are aware that there was another shooting at 4:19, right around there, which is about an hour and 40 minutes ago.
thank you. Item 4 is the minutes from the last meeting. Did you bring those?
I have not brought any minutes, but I have them, and I didn't send them out to you guys, but I don't have no tangible minutes here.
Okay. Will you send them to us, or I send them?
I could send them out to you guys, yes. They're here in the computer, I just haven't sent them through email, I suppose. Have a
Okay.
printer to print them.
Yeah, I don't either, but, okay, thank you.
So would there be a motion to not approve the minutes or to?
Well, we don't have any minutes to approve, so that item has to be tabled.
If you want, I could read them.
No, that's fine, I just thought that since we're not here, it would be a motion to not approve today, but that we present at the next.
Will that be tabled? Is there any opposition to tabling the approval of the minutes? Okay, that'll be tabled for the next
Item.
executive committee meeting.
Item number 4.
Item 5, discussion and possible action regarding the creation of the agenda for the February 3rd, 2016 General Board Meeting. The Executive Committee will discuss and create the items that will be agendized for the Board's February 3rd, 2016 meeting. Starting with A, Old Business from LA 32 Neighborhood Council General Board Meeting that was held on January 6, 2016. The items that were not heard from that day were 19 through 21, 25 through 27, and 29. Which are on the draft here, you guys can take a look at. We'll be starting this meeting with the stakeholder petition, followed by an announcement of Gama's resignation, followed by a land use motion for conditional use permit, followed by the time frame for elections committee for the meet and greets. That'll be followed by filling of vacancies. We then have the filling of an executive committee, actually 2 executive committee seats. We'll have the vice president and the corresponding secretary. And we'll have hopefully filled the last 2 vacancies a few items prior to this. The last item I have from the old agenda is the motion that came out of the executive committee last month for a letter to HACLA advising that the LA 32 Neighborhood Council has not taken a position to oppose or support the Rose Hill Courts project. So those are all the old business items. Moving on to B would be new.
Now, can you pass it down so I can take a look and then share it with Michelle?
You said we'll be filling out vice president?
Michelle, do you have one of these?
Yes, I do. I have it right.
Anthony, you got one of these?
Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
you guys
Oh,
take.
today's, yes, today's agenda.
Yes, I got it right.
Yes, I have that one.
Yeah, why don't you take a couple minutes and take a look at it each and let me know if there's anything you see on there that shouldn't be on there.
I have a question.
Oh, and all this is.
There were some items that I requested to be placed on the agenda, but you said they were gonna be placed on this agenda for discussion.
What we're doing.
One was for the, I think one of them, we mentioned to go back to the committee, which was to bring back the 5 posting locations.
Mhm.
And the other one was for, Anthony, that's why I was looking for the notes, because I know there was 2 other items that you said that they were gonna be placed on the agenda today for.
Well, the halfway one was the other one, but we made a
Right,
motion
but
on
there
that
was 2 more that I looked at, so I'm wishing that they had the minutes so that we.
He has the
can go
minutes,
through
check your
this.
minutes out.
Anthony, do you remember what?
For which meeting, let me see, hold
For
on.
the last meeting
I'll
that we
get
had,
to it.
I know, like I said, that we had mentioned that,
Was it a general board meeting or executive? committee?
Executive.
was executive.
Okay, so I'll go here. At the last one, I have December here. Okay, so what did you want me to read to you?
At the end of the meeting,
Okay, at the very end,
I don't think it was at the end, I think.
we were speaking, it
It was
says,
at the-
Anthony, motion that LA 32 Neighborhood Council prepare a letter to HACLA to advise of the LA 32 Neighborhood Council as a body has not taken a position, that one?
Right, no, keep going.
after that.
Okay, after that, says President will prepare a letter to Dunn regarding the board vote in October to increase the board size to 21.
Right. What- Is that gonna take place now, or?
What was, and then what else?
That's not going on the agenda.
After that says Michelle
Just
approved the
ask me on
agenda
the
that's set
side.
for the January meeting, seconded by Marlene. And then George, Parks meeting coming up January 14th.
No, go back. When Victor was talking about the 5 postings, and he said that. saying
Okay,
that
June, asking to, June, asking
And by
to
the way,
submit
they-
recommendations, asking that MPG's request be submitted in person. Individuals should show up to the executive committee meeting to give the information about what the costs are for and where the price is coming from, and applications should be in person. The way the process is written right now, it's not right.
Okay, so that's right, we talked about sending it back to Budget and Finance, but she said that they weren't, that,
I don't,
that wasn't really within their jurisdiction.
You're
They
speaking what-
just did the process last time.
June did mention, said June asked about removing the El Sereno tree lighting since the item passed.
I don't want to.
That was something that.
Here you
it was-
mentioned membership and outreach should be filled, will be placed on the agenda. And nothing else by June.
Okay. So those 2 that were discussed, how were they?
Well, we-
Are we gonna bring that back to the committees?
I mean, that would be the only feasible thing. At this point, there's no money in MPG, 0.
Well, actually, I'm not discussing that, I'm talking about the other one regarding, the process.
Right, well,
There's no money needed to change that, to see if we can change that process.
No, but I mean, what I'm saying is there's no immediate necessity, like,
So we're still on item 5, but we're on it right now.
I know, and we're actually,
Okay, I'm sorry, I just thought I mentioned it because, like I said, it's not a money thing, but I just want this, since I know we got a couple more months, but for this board to go ahead and make that, to vote on that so that the next board, whoever comes in, it's already, this board already voted for, so I'm leaving that up to the executive committee. I'm just
Vote on
going
what?
with-
You're asking this board to vote for what?
he wants us to change the MPG process.
Oh, yes.
And I don't think it's budget and finance responsibility.
Yeah, because they don't go to budget and finance.
I guess they
I
used to,
thought they used to. Yeah,
they used to, but
used
they
to.
changed the process.
But,
They go to, they drop it off at the executive committee, so maybe we should change the process.
so that's on the executive committee, I'm just throwing that out there to see what, actually what we can do as far as that, because I would like to see if this, board can actually take actions on that now, so that the, next board that comes in after elections, the process is what it is that there's no more emails, there's no more, you have to show up, because I personally don't think it's fair that we have to show up to meetings. And if someone's gonna come and ask for money, I think it's only fair that they should have to come and present themselves in a professional manner. And so that's just my thoughts. So I'm just leaving that to the executive committee.
You understand that the next board can come in and change it though?
Oh, yes, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that I think that with the reactions from the other board members, when I discussed this, they were in agreement also. So I don't think the other next board should have any disagreement, because it's obviously that some of the board members on this board here also agree.
Well, that's not speaking for everyone, no?
No, but I'm
I
saying
mean, you guys are
that,
gonna have 21 at that point.
I don't know if that's gonna happen anymore. But
Okay.
anyway, I'm leaving that up to you guys. I just
Okay,
think that,
my apologies, it's not on this agenda. I'm gonna email myself right now, because I placed them in a folder, and I'll get it on the next agenda.
I did, since we're speaking specifically of item 5, I did have a couple questions reviewing it. One was it says old business. I was curious as how some of those are in the old business category and perhaps could be dealt with. And then I don't see it either under a president's report or earlier than old business.
What are you talking
It
about?
was, when was it? Okay.
You're looking at what, the January 6th agenda?
No, the one that Marlene just put together, it says designation of a possible action, example, like announcement of resignation of Gamaliel. That should be done perhaps like as a presidential announcement or report. You know, you just put it on and it'll be item 5, I guess, right up at the front.
that would be,
Right after general public comment.
Right, well, you're
Just
talking
schedule
about changing
announcement.
format, and
Right.
that's just not the format that I use.
Well, that's what we could add a number 5 and it'll say presidential or president's report, and president's report, you'd make an announcement that Gamaliel resigned from the executive committee corresponding secretary, rather than having it on a old business where it becomes an agenda item.
But it was on the last agenda.
Yes. Oh, no, yes, it was on the last agenda, but I'm saying it could be moved because I think a proper title would not be old business. We could handle that under sort of neighborhood council business, not public business. I don't know if you understand, because if
I
you
do
leave it old
understand,
business
we had
under
this
public-
conversation last time,
Okay,
it's
so
just not the
that-
format that I use.
Right, okay, then another one is the discussion of possible action of Alley 32 to support a conditional use permit. I don't see that one on the old agenda as old business.
Which one?
There's something about a number 10, possible action support application for conditional use permit.
That was there.
Phoenix Global Green School?
That was there. She was there for the entire meeting last month.
Okay, but that item was never called, was it?
Well, we didn't hear it
So
because we
then
didn't
it's
get
still,
to it.
so then it's still new business.
January 11th.
11.
It's still new
It's from
business.
the old agenda.
Old agenda, but unheard business. We've never heard it. So basically that, what you're doing is putting it as old business, like that's coming to the front of the list. Another item is the filling the vacancies. Isn't that on here? Right. Filling the vacancies should also be done under president's report. Meaning what I'm saying is some of these items, which is not the one about the land use things, but the other two, it's really not a business for the stakeholders. It's a business for the neighborhood council to continue functioning properly.
Okay.
Filling seats,
Completely understand what
and
you're
making sure
saying.
that we fill in our recording secretary and our vice president, announcing that there's resignations. Because what that does is it draws up time for the stakeholders to say, I wanna talk, I wanna talk, I wanna talk, I wanna talk, I wanna talk.
Well,
on
there's
all
no
these items.
motion. That announcement's not a motion,
Right,
so there's
but you
gonna be
could-
no
that's what I'm
public
saying, so you could
comment
even
on it.
shorten it down even quicker by putting it into a new category, president's report. So, and then also with, according to the bylaws, make sure that we fill all our seats, which right now there's 15, but the board voted to 21. That's beside the point. All seats should be filled before we nominate executive officers. Bylaws indicate that.
And as the agenda indicates,
So-
all seats will be filled
Does it?
prior to the executive
Filling the
seats
vacancies,
being.
okay. One west and one right, okay, I do see that. Okay.
And VP, she put VP on there as vice president.
Correct. So then maybe the only thing I would ask would be to do item 12, 9, 12, and 13. Way
Under a
ahead.
president's report.
Yes, way ahead. And
I'll
just-
consider it.
and you
But
can
if I
finish all
don't do
the-
it next term, when
Oh.
you're president, you could do that.
Well, it just makes it quicker, yeah, you could
I agree.
knock three, what I'm saying is
It's
you
just
knock
not
out
the
3
format.
items within one item, basically.
I'll consider it.
And then, I think everything else is okay, I didn't read the first one, something, oh, that's the stakeholder initiative.
What is item
Sure.
12 and 13?
12 and 13 is filling the vacancies and filling the officer seats.
I'm not doing that under a president's report. I'll do 9 under a president's report.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, all the considerations are up to you.
Pass it to Michelle.
All the considerations are up to you. You
Yeah, I already
decide
seen it, no, I already seen
Yeah?
it, I already did my notes with my.
how- Okay.
Okay, thank you, Anthony. So next is item 5B, new business. This would be any new motions submitted by committees. I have one, but does anybody, other committee have any motions?
It's actually, I have two motions.
Okay,
Should I just present it to you, or do you want to do the information on it?
well, you can talk about it if you wanna.
Okay,
inform
so
everyone yourself.
anyways, the beautification committee, we met on January 11th,
Here, you could give that to Anthony, that's the second copy for Anthony.
Is this one?
Beautification committee.
And,
I'll take that.
what
Hold
we-
on, I'm trying to make sure I keep it the way it is now.
Well, you could keep that one.
um, So what we came up with, we wanted to do some community cleanups, in the committee, a couple of them. And what we wanted to do is, as you can see the motion, we're gonna have a series of cleanups, I think a total of 5, am I correct, Michelle? A total of 5, I think every 20th of the month, I think.
Third Saturday.
Third Saturday of every month for 5 months. 5 months, yeah.
Yes.
And what we're gonna do is that we're gonna have, since we have so many communities with 90032, we're gonna have one in Rose Hill, one in Osarino, so forth and so forth. So we got together with, like I mentioned, Julio Torres, and the councilman's office is willing to partner with us, and they're gonna supply the bags and the brooms and the rakes, and what we're also gonna do is that everyone who cleans up, they're gonna put the bags on the curbs, and the Department of Public Safety and Public Works, they're gonna pick up the trash. So we think this is a great idea as far as, we're almost at in our terms, to just let the community know that, we are active. So with that said, the motion we read, motion LA 32 approve the beautification community cleanup calendar to clean up once a month from February 2016 to June 16 to clean up the communities in Nigeria. The following dates are February 20th, April 16th, May 4th, June 18th, from 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Um,
I think June though, by June 18th, there'll be a new board. I don't know,
yeah,
but
I
we'll
was-
leave it on there. just in
I was-
case.
Yeah, we knew that, but we still wanted to leave it on there. so
And
they
the other
can,
thing is, I saw the flyer for February 20th with LA 32 already on there, and it really needs to be approved by the board before you put our logo
Well,
on there.
that there was discussed. I didn't even think that actually the other vendors that were on the bottom of the flyer also, they shouldn't have been put on there until we talked to them. But this was a draft, just to go out because we were gonna ask the Stone Cold Pizza, or what's it called?
Mhm. Blaze.
Blazing's Pizza, and also the Dollar Tree there,
Right,
for donations for the cleanup. And what Julio put the flyer together and said, here's a draft, we're still not, this is not the original flyer, we're just sending
there's
these out.
piles of them. Piles,
Piles.
it's not a draft, there's piles of flyers.
When did you see him?
When did I see them?
I didn't see him.
I have one.
He just, I have one too, but he just sent the email saying, here's the
The
draft.
draft to you.
They're
yeah.
printed.
In other words, we agreed that he was gonna get a draft and go to these vendors so they can
Respond.
sponsor food for the volunteers.
So.
And then
that's-
once those vendors confirmed, then he was gonna go back to the board and then CD 14, and then it was gonna get printed.
Right.
We knew that's the process. So if these copies are printed already, that's not us.
And
We didn't tell them to
I
print it.
talked to Julio about
Yeah.
that too, because when I seen the draft, I told him, I said, if you put the vendors on there, the partners on there without even asking them first. So I don't think it was a good idea for you to put them on there, we should have just said we're gonna have some cleanups and see their response, and then if they said yes, and then we could have put their names on there. So, as far as that, I totally agree with you, it shouldn't have been that way, but, it was a draft submitted by Julio, you can contact him and ask him why, but I asked him too, but he says it's a draft, it's not real, but you're
We
right.
didn't know there's copies out there
I
already
didn't,
like
I
that.
had
We
no
didn't know.
clue. I had
We're not passing
no
them out,
clue.
and we haven't even put it on our Facebook, because obviously we're waiting for February 2nd. Or when is our meeting? February 3rd.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll talk to them and tell them, take them down
Right.
until we approve it for the February meeting.
I'm just hearing this up right now.
I didn't know, I mean, till you mentioned it, that there's a
Yeah.
Hey, when did you see him?
I know, I'm like, when did you see it? Because we didn't know there was a flyer out.
It has your name and your email on it.
Yeah, we see that, but I didn't.
Yeah, we
know
seen
that-
the draft version of that, yes, we did, but we didn't know there was already copies being distributed.
And I can submit the email that he sent to me saying that it was just a draft.
Yes, he did send it to
So-
you and me, both of us together, yes, he did.
Just so there's transparency.
Yeah, I mean, you just keep it for your own records, because if people are, filing grievances and violations against one, I mean, it's gotta be,
That's true, you're
it can't be
absolutely right.
taken to where the violations are
So
and where they're not,
we're
when they're
interested,
clearly a
so
violation.
we can go to those places and
It's,
tell them to take it down?
I don't think he posted them, he had them, he said they're stacks.
They're stacks, yeah.
But where did you see them?
I saw them at the councilman's office.
Okay.
They're right there for the public to take.
Really?
Mhm.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, I have a couple comments on
jumping the gun.
One thing, I'm just hearing this right now, I would like to indicate that it's true that if the LA 32 Neighborhood Council logo is being used, it should be approved through the Neighborhood Council. Past practice was that if outside entities, you know, it's difficult with ourselves because we have to represent the Neighborhood Council, but we have to get support. But if outside entities used our logo and submitted flyers and had stacks out there already promoting that we supported their project, well, that was an absolute guarantee that no, we don't. Everyone on the board understood that. We would not support that, we would not tolerate it, and we would not have other people use our material without asking us first. So when that question did come up or was on the agenda, more oftentimes than not, the board already knew that we don't conduct business that way, and that project, that program, that great sports activity, whatever it is, was automatically declined because of their actions. Another thing though, is I'd like to mention is an item on here, I was actually looking at, I don't see anything for the month of March. Any cleanup in March?
I don't think we,
Because it says February, April, May,
Oh,
June. and
yes,
it's
yes,
skipped.
I'm sorry, yes, March 19th.
Okay, I was just-
That is a mistypo. Would you like me to add it in there
Yes, please, I
manually
just-
for you?
Yeah.
And I can email it to you.
I was
guys
just
too.
checking, yeah, so those
Let
are-
me add it for you. It's right here on the notes. That's
Okay.
my bad. I'm sorry. I was
Okay,
carried when I was
so I'll,
saying that.
that's why I gotta put down,
It's
I'm gonna
March
put down,
19th.
Submitted, hold on, I'm gonna go back in June, hold on, I have to go back where you submitted this in writing, and I'm gonna put, March will be included.
March 19th,
Okay.
yes.
March.
And just to piggyback off what you said, I don't think this shouldn't not be approved if somebody else.
Right,
Used
that's what's
our
typical,
logo, but,
correct. And
I
this
think
is neighborhood council outreach, we used to do this every month in years before also in previous boards, so having a good cleanup every month was sort of standard and customary for us. But you're right, it's hard for our own boards to say, well, how do you approve this? You have our flyers out there and having, I guess, stacks around, I haven't seen any yet.
I haven't seen it either
But,
until Marty
you know,
mentioned it
yeah,
right now.
Then I think we should have to
At
be
the
cautious
same time, I
with
think we
that.
need to be careful of, you know, I mean, I think that if certain committee chairs would have done it, it would have been automatically thrown out and everything else, the book thrown at them. So I think we need to be a little bit more just and a little bit more fair with how we're treating.
Well, right, if
Chairs.
it's a committee does it, I think I would sort of tolerate it a little bit because we're supposed to promote these and of course it hopefully would say draft across the front because it's our material, we're supposed to do our outreach.
Because my understanding,
It's-
the draft flyer says beautification committee
Okay, yeah, you see?
is what it says.
That would be part of
The draft
outreach.
flyer that we have says beautification, the draft.
And the one that's out there doesn't?
I don't know. I didn't even know there was one out there.
Yeah, but yes, we would also mention to the committee
Because
members.
the one we have is a draft that says beautification committee,
Because
correct?
it is proper for each board
Each
member, there's
committee
15 of
too.
them, to promote the neighborhood council,
Yeah.
you know, but not to have flyers printed without authorization, because of course we need authorization to spend it, but we haven't spent no money because
Yeah, there's
someone
no
else put
money
it.
involved.
Right, but
There's no
definitely,
funding
our
involved.
process was a little bit more clear than this.
well, as you mentioned, this was something that Julio did on his own, so we had no idea that he was gonna go ahead and make the flyers and post them out there and all that, so that was out of our hands. Well, after we had our meeting, we just discussed it and that was it. He said we're gonna put a draft together and that's what he did, send us the draft. But as far as posting the limit out there to, that's on Julio, he's the one that did that. I hate to put him underneath the rug, but it is what it is, so I just wanna make it clear that this committee.
Is this the one you're talking about? Because this is the draft. Do you want to see it? This is the draft. It says LA Beautification Committee. That's the draft that my understanding, we're using, but we haven't posted it nowhere, like as in Facebook or website or nowhere. We haven't put it nowhere
Right
yet.
here.
Look, he has it right here.
This
Oh, there you
one.
go. Look, he has it right there too.
Let me see that.
Is that the one you're talking about? 'Cause-
Yeah, it's in color, it's printed in color.
Yeah, because my understanding, we're not promoting yet till we confirm.
Well, I mean, but
vendors
our
and February
logo is
3rd.
on there. Our logo is on there as neighborhood council.
See, this is the one I printed that he sent to me, since it's black and white.
See in the
yeah.
corner, that's our
You have another
logo.
one?
Yeah.
That's
There
not
you
the
go.
beautification committee's logo.
You have enough of these? I can keep this?
Sure. You might not wanna pass it out yet.
No.
No, you can't pass it out.
Right, you see, and it always happened before, to all of us, that we used to do these monthly, but of course, the one's gonna get the credit. I remember for establishing their event, and joining them in with us, but it should probably be, in my mind, it looked probably more like this one, because it should be the LA 32 neighborhood council cleanup. Oh, this is the same thing as that one? You can mention, and, okay, that's fine, you don't need to put your name up there, but this one is the one that you mentioned, Marlene?
It looks the same, yeah. It's
Right, in
just
color.
printed in color, yeah. Really nice glossy paper too. I think.
Anywhere else you seen them, so we can
Did I see one at the library? I might have seen one at the library also.
Not outside. Maybe-
Not on the outside, on the inside.
I probably looked at that wall, that wall's full
I
of.
may have seen one at the library. I guess you'll just have to check with Julio, see where he's put him up.
Right. I mean, like I said, I had no clue. He sent me the draft and he said, go ahead and send it, go to the vendors and ask them, and that was the last conversation I had with him. So,
Yeah.
But, anyways,
Okay.
I have,
Do you have another motion?
yes, this is from the Public Safety Committee.
Okay.
It's still 5B, right? We're
Yeah,
still on
we're on
5B?
5B.
And
So, I'm sorry, so is it proper that we submit that motion as notification even though that flyer's out there or what?
We have to support the project. If you guys are supporting it, just.
I mean, you've already submitted the motion.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, if he did, I'm pretty sure the intentions are not, you know, like bad.
I don't think anybody's intentions are
Yeah,
bad, but we're
it's
still held
just-
accountable.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, this is another one. What is the second one for June?
Oh, this is from the Public Safety Committee. So our committee met on January 26th at the Wilson Recreation Center, and what we did was, at our last Public Safety Committee, there was a request for since all the shootings and drive-bys going on in the neighborhood, and as you can see, Mr. McDonald just mentioned another one. We already had two meetings, and the police officers came, and they actually told us the same thing they're telling us now. We don't know. There's no information, but we, as a Public Safety Committee, think that we should have a public safety awareness fair and actually have these officers come down and let us know what's going on, because it's continuing, it's getting worse. And people are running to their cars now, like Mr. McDonald mentioned, it's not safe anymore. So we thought it was a good idea to have a public safety awareness fair to be held on May the 21st. So what we want to do is that on that fair, the motion is that motion allocated to the fund, since the committee still has funds in there, that LA 32 Neighborhood Council fund up to $400 for hospitality for public safety awareness fair for that fair, just for the food, for May 21st. And actually, motion that LA 32 Council fund up to $300 for printing a double-sided flyer. So what we're doing is that on the same fair, what we're gonna do is that we're creating flyers. Part of the flyer is gonna be information regarding the fair, and the other part of the flyer is gonna be the elections. So we're gonna do outreach for the elections and for the public awareness fair. So that's what the other motion is for $400 for hospitality and $300 for the printing, okay? And we also, at one of our previous meetings, there was some committee members who came with concerns with the wildlife. I mentioned that the cows are coming down, there's a lot of possums, a lot of raccoons, and there was people coming down saying, you know, what do I do? Do I run, or what, you know, they're afraid of the animals. So, so we thought it would be a great idea for us to actually have a urban wildlife presentation. It's a presentation that, I forget his name, I think that young guy, the one that's in charge of research over there at, Roy Payan.
Tony?
Roy Payan.
Yeah.
Oh, Roy.
You set up at the presentation?
Yes, actually, he's gonna do the presentation, it's free.
Wow.
So what he mentioned to us at the last meeting is that there's some things that we can do as far as to educate the community. So he wants to have that, it's a free thing. So one of the things he had mentioned that, because a lot of people up at Depth Park, they go up there at nighttime and some of the coyotes, animals, and come up to them. He said that they had one fair over there in Highland Park one day, and the Aurora Second Neighborhood Council, and what they did was they actually funded for some flashlights and some whistles. The flashlight is for that, you know, when you see a coyote, just put the flag and go run. The whistle is for the other animals that you see animals coming, you can blow the whistle, and the animals are, you know, the squirrel away, because they're more scared of you than you are of them. So we thought it was a great idea, and we would like to have, like I mentioned, an urban wildlife presentation. And the Animal Service Wildlife Officer will be there also, actually, to come and educate the community also. So, with that said, we made a motion that LA Neighborhood Council fund up to $300 for hospitality, again, just for food. Up to $100 for branding items, so because we're gonna purchase, these items.
Real quick,
Excuse me?
since I'm taking note, this is a separate motion than the
Yes.
first one
Is for
for the
the,
safety awareness fair.
that was for safety awareness,
Okay,
this
okay,
was
okay.
for the urban wildlife.
Yes, yes, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a space on here because I'm gonna have to indicate that they're separate, I thought it was one.
Right.
Okay. Motion's made in writing. Okay, you have that one in writing too.
Yes. And, so he said that, Mr. Payan mentioned that he had noted the place that we got the whistles and the flashlight last time. And we had mentioned to him that, if we're gonna be giving away the item, we have to, brand the items with our logo. So, we wanna spend the $200 on that also. So, the motion that LA2 Neighborhood Council fund up to $300 for hospitality, up to $100 for branding the items with LA32 logos such as whistles and flashlights that I mentioned, and up to $200 to give to the community at the urban wildlife presentation to schedule in March and April 2016. So Mr. Payan actually won't charge, but I think the $200 is for the branding.
You said 100 for branding.
Yeah, $20 to give to the community at. You know what? I'm gonna scratch this and just leave the $300 for hospitality because I don't to give the community at their one. Oh, okay, here it is. The $100 for the branding. The $200 is for the.
The hospitality.
No, she got this wrong.
I sort of have an understanding what you're trying to do because as a public safety committee,
Right.
your event and your material, which would be whistles and flashlights, will be branded, but that at the same time is considered outreach.
Membership and outreach, yep.
I'm not saying
But
membership
the
and
fact
outreach.
that because
But that's
it
what we used to do
has,
before. Each of the
but because
committees would
the
promote
whistle
outreach.
and the flashlight are safety items.
No, I understand that, they are safety, but what I'm saying is he's incorporating the aspect of outreach.
Outreach, yeah.
Meaning when we used to have our outreach committee, they didn't get all the money to do all the outreach because all of the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 committees are all doing outreach, which is, I'm sure this is a pretty good example of the public safety committee doing outreach. So when it comes time to put the outreach budget together, you say, oh, we gotta do outreach, we gotta put a lot of money into membership and outreach. No, you don't, we gotta support each of the committees because each of the 10 functioning committees are always doing outreach at every event that they're doing, and every project they come up with, and every motion that you're considering.
You know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and present this, and if there's any questions, I will talk about that at the meeting.
Oh, you
because
only have one copy
she,
of that one?
I think she wrote this.
You only have one copy of that one?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
made the
This is
motion?
just,
Who made the motion?
Actually, our board did.
I mean,
The
but
committee,
one
the committee.
committee member would have had to make it.
It's right there. We're not putting names on there, we just said that it was approved.
No, I know, but who made the motion? Angela?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll
Which
just
one
get
is it, number
clarification
three?
from her.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because I'm not too sure about the last part of it, I'm getting kind of confused about that. I just said $300 for hospitality and $100 for the branding, but the $200 is for what? That's what I'm kind of confused at the bottom.
Yeah, it's self-indicated, you're just reading it wrong, see?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hospitalities, up to $100.
Oh,
You understand?
oh, so it's 300 total.
Yes.
And then for
hospitalities, up to
hospitalities, 100,
for
branding items, 200.
For 200.
Okay, I'm
She
sorry.
just,
I'm sorry.
she just
I
worded it
forgot a
weird.
comma. Right, go talk to the city attorney for a comma.
Sorry about that,
Yeah,
sorry
well,
about
you
that.
understand what it says, so it was 300 total.
You know what,
Yeah, it's 300
I
total.
was gonna ask that,
So that's your entire 1,000 on these two motions?
Yes, yes. I was gonna ask, is it possible to move these up on the agenda?
The
Because
agenda's very short.
Oh, is it?
We have like 4 items left over
Okay,
from last time.
that's fine. I just wanna make sure that it gets,
Okay, so I have 3 motions submitted for item 5B, June, community cleanups, public safety, awareness fair, and also a urban wildlife presentation.
Right.
All 3 right in line?
Do you have any, Michelle?
No, just the treasurer's report.
Oh, that's on there, yeah.
That's your copy, Anthony, with the,
Okay, thank you.
No, I mean any motions from your committees.
no. We're gonna probably meet to make a motion, because we're waiting for the deadline. We're waiting for February 19th, which is gonna already happen. We're gonna move money to move it into the Kite Fest, which is, whatever committee has not used their remaining or motion to use their funds. We're gonna move that to the Kite Fest, as well as, I think we're done with all the the rental space use, so there's money left there. And there's money somewhere else, so we're gonna squeeze and move whatever we can into the Kite Fest.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I actually have a motion from the Arts and Culture Committee for the Kite Fest. We only have $1,600 this
Item 5,
time
Lisa.
around.
Five.
So we do have a motion to allocate it all, $1,600, and to be able to start using it. Also to approve us hosting the Kite Fest on April 24th. $1,600, I'll have a line item here that will be attached to the agenda. Pretty much this is all we can cover. Is food for volunteers, $450. T-shirts, 50 T-shirts for volunteers and only 500 medals for participants, which comes to 1,100 for both. We're using the same vendor for both of those, and so he gave us a total for both. Flyers, 2,000. 2,000 flyers is all we can do, and that's at about $50, and that's not in color. Can't even afford that. So, in the meantime, we're also working with another of other government entities to possibly sponsor, but I mean, literally, we're talking about a reduction of $11,000 from last year that we're tasked to work with. So this is where we're requesting to spend the money.
16, from what, 11 to 16?
From $12,000 to $1,600. And, I mean, the councilman is putting in, as the same as last year, 1,000 kites, but medals, I mean, we can't afford, 1,000 medals alone is $2,500. I have a $1,600 budget. So looking for someone to partner with me on medals.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, at the last meeting, that gentleman from the state senator, what's his name?
Yeah,
And he said that if he needs any help,
Yeah.
that to get.
yeah, no, I've been in contact, I spoke to Assemblyman Gomez about the Kite Fest many months ago, and he did commit to being there and sponsoring. So I'm waiting for the final numbers from their office on what they can contribute, the same with Supervisor Solis. I'm waiting for their numbers on what they can contribute. The mayor's office can't contribute any money, but they're gonna, I'm meeting with them to get just contacts of other sponsors that they feel would sponsor it.
For Recreation and Parks?
The city doesn't have any money. DWP is already coming, they're providing a bunch of stuff, and so is Public Works, but they're not monetary, they can't do money. Parks and Rec can come and have a booth, maybe, or maybe do an activity or something like that. But anyway, that's my motion,
Okay.
and so that'll be attached, and you'll have the line
So
item.
you take it, right?
Huh? Yeah. So I think that's all for committees. I didn't see any other committees really hold any
Is
meetings.
it just one copy, or, yeah, it's just one copy?
Yeah, that's fine. So, lastly, we have 5C.
Real quick. I'd also like to indicate or give a compliment to Marlene, same as you're looking here, the motion from the Arts and Culture Committee, if we go by medals, will be branded and labeled and whatnot, so basically, the Arts and Culture Committee is also using membership and outreach aspects. The reason why I mention it is because when we create the next fiscal cycle budget, there should not be an overwhelming amount of money in the membership and outreach committee. And that
I
makes
don't-
sense, it might say that's the most important, but what you're doing is you're using membership and outreach within your motion, within your product, within your program, within your event. So the Arts and Culture Committee is already doing it, the Public Safety Committee is already doing it, and we have the Education Committee and all the other committees doing it. That sort of validates why specifically membership and outreach should not get a majority lump sum, not even, it shouldn't even be equal to any of the other committees. Because all the other committees are creating an established event like you are, but you're including membership and outreach. So that money that would have gone to membership and outreach, put it in the committee, put it in the committee, put it in the committee. So basically, the membership and outreach committee will get a substantial less amount than the other committees because we have 10 people doing, or 10 committees doing membership and outreach, not just one.
Yeah.
When we,
I like that.
when we do our flyer for the meet and greet at the Kite Fest, maybe we could do like a double-sided flyer to promote our Kite Fest on one side and the meet and greet, because it's gonna be at the Kite Fest.
Yeah.
The meet and greet is gonna be, so we're gonna have to promote that we're doing our meet and greet at the Kite Fest, and we will be able to do that because it is our event as well. Do you know what I mean? So we would be able to probably do something with color on that one, you know?
Double-sided
There
across
you
the
go.
window.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, we'll take care of that.
That'd be great.
Banners, you have all the banners from the last time, and the only thing I recommend is ask Charlie's Trio. Charlie's Printing, to give you Velcros where you could just put that piece on the date. And then just assure that those same vendors do it, which they probably will co-sponsor again, the same vendors. Like
Well,
Bio Action will probably do it again and they'll provide
Yeah, but we're
waters.
gonna have to have more this time, because I
Oh.
don't think they even contributed money, I think
They did, no.
Historical Society did,
Yeah, Historical Society did the lunch.
and Rosa Review did.
Yeah, they
No, I
did, they
know,
did,
do it 800
they give
bucks.
cash.
yeah, they paid for outreach stuff, yeah. And Bio Action did waters, a lot of waters, and it was like the
Yeah, I mean,
big
cause we
maintenance.
have extra 7-Eleven, I believe is doing the waters or pretty much that's our lead, that's what they've offered, the councilman's office, so hopefully they come through with that. Also, a few others, so, I don't know, we'll see, we talked about banners, possibly getting one of the sponsors to make the banners for us or pay for the banners, or else we're gonna probably be painting banners and putting them on lawns like they did when they had no budget. So if that's what it has to be, then that's what it has to be. Okay, moving on to 5C. So this would be new business, any business that's been brought forward either at this executive meeting or over the course of the month. Any emails we received that need to be addressed. All I got was a request for somebody to speak. And they fit into the community organizations. So I informed them that they would have 5 minutes to speak without any public comment or anything like that, or any discussion with stakeholders, and they said that was fine.
The initial discussion. Discussion about?
Did H&R contact you? Because at their grand opening, when I was doing pictures, they said they were gonna probably reach out to you to see if they can present for that day.
No, they don't. What do they want to present? Just their business?
Business. Their business that they're new here in town.
Who's this, Michelle?
H&R Block. When the grand opening occurred, I took pictures.
Oh, 7-Eleven too, no?
Yeah.
I see those posters down there.
This is.
While you check on that, I've mentioned it probably almost for every meeting that I've attended, that we should not be accepting emails for agenda setting. Now,
Well, it's
some
not
people-
setting agenda, I'm just letting you know that.
That's what our process is now, agenda setting. We're setting the agenda for February, so I guess you want us to consider it, maybe we'll know if it's not. If it
Okay,
is.
but there's a spot on the agenda that's a standing spot for organizations
But
that are doing work in
it is
our-
agenda
in our
setting,
community.
that's the
Okay.
purpose of this
If
meeting.
you wanna vote on it, we can vote on it. I'll read you his email. Hello, my name is Ryan Cowell. I'm the Advocacy and Resource Specialist for Hoganess Inc. I would love to present information to the community on free resources now available, including the Affordable Care Act. That's it.
Are they local?
What-
213, yeah.
And of
19033,
course,
so
they're
they're
not,
probably in
they're not
a.
asking for money, and they just wanna give a presentation.
No, he wants to give a 5 minute
Correct.
to inform the community of the resources
I understand that, and
and
that's
probably
great.
healthcare.
The way it should be conducted is those communications or those emails should always be made right here. So that gentleman who wants to give his 5 minute presentation should have made the effort to attend this evening's. It says right on here, new business, any business brought forward to this executive meeting or over the course of the month via email. What's gonna happen is you've already seen this. This sort of practice will allow future stakeholders to email the president at all times of the day and request to be on the agenda. But what's missing? The stakeholder here. I'm trying to see, where are they at? And we're the officers, and we do have two here. But if we want to actually conduct business in the public's eye, everyone who wants to speak to the public has to do so in the public's eye. So they
Understood.
should be right here asking to speak, to say, you know what? I want to make time to talk at the February's meeting. And that's the best way to do it.
Okay. There's a spot on the agenda, 5A. It reads Speaker Series, Public or Private Entity, and it says, schedule announcements and presentations, 5 minute each, no discussion or public comment. It includes A, Speaker Series, Public or Private Entity with project and/or services in the community.
Correct.
In which he has. This was voted on by the executive committee. It was brought forth by Capricia months back. We voted on it to have that every month on the agenda.
I
It's been on
understand
there
that, and
since.
it should be, because it's acceptable. What I'm saying is, you're bypassing today's meeting. You're
So-
already in February's meeting, and I go back to today's agenda. Where is that on today's agenda?
Well,
It's, okay, but the answer is no, it's not on there. It's not even under 5C because it says any business brought forward to
You're not
this
understanding
executive
though,
committee.
anybody who does work in our
They're a
neighborhood
stakeholder.
can just come to the general board meeting.
Correct, and speak for 2
Just
minutes.
like any of these guys can, the senators,
For 2
people
minutes.
from the senators group,
Yes.
they don't have to specifically be on there. It's an open and standing portion
It's
of the
an item,
agenda.
but how do they get to the items? What I'm saying, what you're allowing them to do is bypass the agenda
All right,
setting
they
process.
don't even
that
have
is
to
today.
email me, and they emailed
That's
everyone,
not
they didn't just
acceptable.
email me.
That's what I'm saying, but that's,
Where do we
should
go
not
from
be
here?
acceptable. Then we go back.
It's
So
your
my question
opinion
is-
that
my
it's not
question is-
acceptable.
Correct.
If Holiness Inc. did not email you and they just show up on the
Yes,
February
they can-
They
meeting,
get 2 minutes.
they'll be able to
public
speak?
comment.
Yes,
Of course they
no,
do.
no, they get to speak for 5
Okay,
minutes.
That's what I was gonna
exactly.
say, do they
Under
get
her
to speak for
condition.
2 or 5 minutes?
Five
Five.
minutes.
And is that allowed under your condition as the president?
That's allowed
Yes.
per our agenda.
Right, but what you're doing is you're bypassing today's agenda. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we're not gonna, there's
That's
nothing,
They're not
the point
gonna
I'm
be on
trying
the
to-
agenda, they're
it's
just.
nothing for us to
No,
take
no,
action
no.
on.
Were you just
There's no
announcing it to us that
discussion.
they're
Correct.
gonna come by and do it?
Correct.
Or
But what
did
you're
you, or
doing
were
is
I'm
you?
just letting you know that that's the only person I've heard from. There may be
Oh,
other
okay.
people who
Okay.
show up at the meeting.
So
This
we
is
were,
the only one I know.
you were not informing us to make a motion, right? It
No.
was just
No.
informing you that these people might show up on this number
And
of
they
the
get
agenda
5
to
minutes
speak for
per
5
our
minutes if they
agenda.
show up. Okay.
Now,
Just like if H&R Block shows up, cause she said she was gonna contact you, and if she doesn't, and she shows up that day and asks you,
That's
you
what I'm
know,
saying, now, do they
she'll
get 5
be able
minutes?
to, she'll be able to speak?
I mean,
I don't know, I mean, I'm just asking.
yeah, I mean, I think it was more geared for anybody who's offering I mean, I guess they are
A
offering.
business.
But they're also getting money out of it. These
Yeah.
people, it's not they're not making money. This is free resources for the community. H&R Block, I mean, that's typically, they could do a public comment of it.
Mhm.
Project outdoor services in the community. I guess maybe it should read free services. I don't know. Anyhow, I'm just letting you know. And we've had this discussion before, and the department has looked at it thoroughly. The city attorney has looked at it thoroughly because you emailed them with a complaint about it, and they said, and they even told me, don't change your agenda. Your agenda is fine the way it is, and I still changed it to a little bit appease you and make you feel like, okay, let's list out exactly what we're gonna discuss. Old items, new motions, and anything received. So
But,
I'm
you know,
confident that we're
right.
covered.
It is covered, and you're allowed to do it because it's basically at the president's discretion. Basically, what I'm saying is the pattern and
You're
what the
offering your opinion,
consistency
I
is.
know.
We've seen it, because you've seen it today, and you could go back to every month's past, and some people are automatically on that speaker presentation, which is okay.
If they notify me, I may
Right,
put them
but what
on.
I'm saying is they're missing today's meeting. That's the whole idea of serving the people. They're supposed to be here on February, and they're supposed to be here today. Nobody's here today. That's my point.
Okay,
And
this is my
email-
point.
Right?
Us five listening to him offer resources about the Affordable Care Act is, I understand what you're saying, but the point is to get it to the stakeholders,
Correct.
not us five.
But that means you, in your mind, it's okay to violate or disway from this track or the system just to
What
get to
track
the
or what
stakeholders.
system?
By
Your system?
By the public system. You understand?
Your
You're not
system.
doing it to
So
serve the
then, so
public.
then this is my
It's all
question.
discretionary.
So this is my question, when Community Beacon comes, then they should come here first.
They have to
But then
come here
yet they
first.
always speak
But
over
they
there.
only speak for 2 minutes.
They get public comment.
What she's doing is she's giving someone who walks in off the street, who nobody's ever seen before, the opportunity at her discretion, say, you know what, come to the meeting, show up on February. It's okay, guess what, you talk for 5 minutes.
So then this is my question,
saying
if it's
why?
at her discretion, she has every right to do it?
But now it's on the agenda, which I accept.
Because if
it's
she has
already-
every right, then she could run it like she wants, you know, as the
I'm
president.
just showing though that it's not, if she's not following today's agenda, so in reality, it's not right.
It is on the
because
agenda.
It's not under 5C, it says right there, any new business brought forth at this committee.
Or over the course of the month via email that may need to be addressed by the executive committee.
But you're- what
Or
I'm saying
maybe
is you're
email
saying-
back Hoveness Inc. and say, yes, you can speak on number 5, you'll get 5 minutes, thank you.
I did email him back.
That's exactly, but
I
now,
said, I can't give you,
what you're
you
saying
can't,
is everyone will skip this meeting, and you'll never have no one attend an executive committee meeting,
but
never.
Anthony, this is the
And
thing.
they're all on the
There's
general board
no
agenda.
action to take on it.
That's beside the point. What I'm saying is you have to get them involved. That's why there's lack of involvement, because they don't want you to commit to be here.
This meeting is to
For
set the
agenda
agenda.
setting, exactly.
But then
Thank
sometimes, but then
you.
sometimes,
Thank
but then
you.
sometimes it's,
And that's what we're
sometimes,
doing, we're setting
but
the
then
agenda.
sometimes
But
it's
then we
hard
can-
because let's say Hoveness Inc. has like some free event that's happening, and if they, for whatever reason, they didn't come through here, but they just showed up that day and they got hurt because, you know, the president has that right to say, go ahead and speak, you got 5 minutes. And can they speak? She's saying they could, maybe from there, a committee can,
Right?
If it's something that
But
needs,
they can do it
that
for
they're
2 minutes also.
seeking, then
They
at
go
that point,
defer
we
to
would send it
committee.
to a committee.
Yes. of
Then they
course.
gotta go to that committee and make a presentation, committee brings a motion.
Absolutely.
but what about when they're on a time frame? What if like their event is on a time frame? So then that's why you
If their
open
event is
it.
on a time frame, then they need to come here if they've missed all the committee meetings, and then we can possibly make a
Correct.
motion out of it.
Correct, but it also have, that's what I'm saying, it would have to be on today's agenda, that something,
Right.
something Inc. is gonna be down here.
Right, but they're a standing place, so according to your rules, we would have to have Julio Torres at every one of these meetings, because he's on this agenda. We would have to have
No,
Amanda,
he's the-
because
no,
she
'cause
might
he's the-
show up at our
No,
meeting
because
and
they're,
have to
no,
speak.
because you're getting reports. Those, to me, those are basic department reports.
As
You
is
have,
me, as
you
are
work
these.
with your city departments and all city government, not with any outside agencies. Not Bonds, not Fresco's, not the Flower Shop, not the H&R, not the,
I don't,
not the
I don't
nonprofit,
agree
not
with
the Body of
businesses,
Action.
but people that are offering free services that
services.
benefit our
Okay.
community
So maybe
and
put free
stakeholders,
services.
absolutely,
No?
yes.
I offer free services.
Well,
Does
then
that mean
get
I'm
them
supposed to
asking.
be on the meeting every month for 5 minutes?
Wait, do you have an organization?
Yes.
Wait, you
The Roses
probably,
Homeowners Association and Civic Improvement Association.
I guess according to the way the
But-
agenda
but-
is, yes,
yeah,
but
Exactly, but what I'm saying is if you see this, you're allowing for discretion. What I'm trying to, not just me, we have to try to side away from that so that everybody has the same consistent opportunity. Right now, they're not. Because if you're not an organization, and if you're not a speaker, and you're not a this, and you're just the public, well, you can speak for 2 minutes. But someone can talk to 5 minutes, if the president wants to. What I'm saying is
Okay.
if you wanna talk for 5
We're
minutes,
not gonna
that's
go on
fine.
with this.
Come
If-
ask us that you want
if-
that time.
you want this agendized on the next executive committee meeting to remove this portion from the agenda, then we'll discuss
No.
it and possibly take action as an executive committee. Because
Well-
like I said, this is an action we took as the executive committee prior to
To
you being
place
on
it
it.
on there, but that doesn't mean items get on the agenda item without going through the
That's
process.
what we discussed, and that was exactly, that's why she called it a speaker series, a
Correct.
series.
Yes, yes.
Because I remember, that's right, she was saying, because people were able to come in and speak.
Yes, they
if
can,
they were- if they-
if they ask for the
Okay,
time.
we're gonna move on, Anthony. Honestly, if you want,
No,
if you want it on the next executive committee agenda,
What I almost feel like saying is to make a motion so that they don't get on there because they're not following the process. And now they won't get hurt in February. I'm trying to be cool and I don't wanna say nothing, I'm letting you
No,
do
right
what
now
you
they
want
are
to.
following the process, because according to this, they can walk in do number 5, right? Isn't that the process right now?
That's what she's
They,
saying.
can-
in an email.
according to the way she has the agenda,
Yes, yes,
they're-
but
they're in
according
the
to
right.
Dave, they're.
they can walk in and do number 5 and speak for
Yes.
5 minutes, so,
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, but it's all up to discretion.
on her.
Exactly.
And if
That's
she's
what I'm trying to
saying,
remember.
and if she's saying, that's how I want it, then
Correct.
that's
It's
it, she
okay,
said it.
Exactly, exactly.
Like they say, the president said, I want it like that, I want it like
Unless we
that.
vote amongst the executive officers that we don't want to do that. And I don't wanna go through that difficulty.
And if you're not gonna do it, then why are you making fun?
You understand?
if you're-
Just so she could hopefully learn.
I don't
Okay.
have a problem the way it is right now. I think it's not like they're selling, like you see if H&R Block came and did that, it'd be different, cause it's true, like when he said, they're gonna be
you're right.
selling.
I would use my discretion with them, and I probably would say, you know what?
And yeah, don't put
you-
them, go do it on
You
public
could
comment.
do a public
Yeah,
comment
yeah.
for 2 minutes, but because you make money off this, it's not really benefiting our community unless you're offering free,
Uh-huh.
a certain number free for the first 100.
Yeah. But, you know, maybe just put free services, so they know, the people know when they come and they see agenda, oh, these are people that are offering free service or a free project or whatever it
Free
is,
services or resources.
or resources. Which I like that, I like that they get to come in and it gives us that opportunity to listen to them for whatever reason. I don't think it's necessary for them to stand here and tell us, because they'll be able to
Jen just said.
do that. We're not voting on anything.
No, I understand.
If we
that.
were voting on their project, if we were voting or making a motion, then yes, bring it here and let's make a motion to put you on the agenda. But we're not doing that, just like when the guy about the homeless thing came, didn't he come and we
Correct,
put him on the
that's what I'm saying. It's
agenda?
happened all the months prior, but what I'm saying is they're bypassing this level of the process. And I don't know if you see that, or I know Marlene sees it, but she just wants to use her discretion.
No, I see it.
That's what's happening.
No, I
So
see
now
it.
everyone will just email the president and never show up here.
No, I
That's
see,
what I'm
I see it, but then I also see that she's the president, and if she said that's how she wants it, you just got, that's it, that's how she wants it, that's what I see too.
No.
24 months, Anthony. You can deal with it.
You can do
Flexibility.
it. You can do it.
Okay, anybody else? Is there anything else that this executive committee needs to address? I have nothing. Actually, I do. Well, I just wanted to ask you guys' opinion on something, because as you know, we don't have the MPG money anymore. And I think you've seen, we got one question, which I did answer, but we also have somebody who submitted a new application.
Oh, yeah, I did send an email to the board, didn't you?
Right, are we obligated to put that on the agenda, although we don't have money? Or do we respond to her saying, thank
As a
you,
certain
but
day
I'm
was
sorry,
already-
I apologize. If anything changes, it'll get placed on the agenda and heard?
Cause we publicly voted on it and removed it, so she could even go and see
Yeah.
the minutes or the video.
That's exactly what I told the other person, but she only had questions, and I said, I answered her question, and I said, however, as of the special meeting held on this day,
Yeah.
money from MPG was reallocated for elections, and there's currently no money in the budget in the category of MPGs. You're still welcome to submit your application. If anything changes, we'll notify you and it'll be placed on the agenda and heard. Is that what we want to tell the person who submitted an application?
Because
Or-
it's been already publicly voted and approved that there is no more funds in that.
And she submitted it after that.
I know, yeah, she did, I seen that email, I was waiting for you to respond.
My question is, are we obligated to place it on the agenda?
Well, we should have changed that as soon as January 11th happened, we
Remove
should
the
have,
process?
we should have removed the process, or say as of now, like make an announcement, as of now, there is no more MPG funds, so people know that it's on our website and on our Facebook. And if they submit, we can say, oh, well, you look at our website, it's already on there as of January 11th. We voted publicly and there is no more funds, we apologize, maybe you bypassed it and see it on our website, but it's on there. In other words, we back ourselves up, that we put it on
Right.
there. I don't think it should be on the agenda because there is no need to, there's no
Right,
funds.
it's a waste of time.
And already line items are being made and expenses and approved and already,
I mean, chances are it's not gonna change, I know, there's not gonna be any money dumped back into the MPGs, I know that. So we definitely need to get an update on the process or remove the process altogether.
If you wanna give me an announcement, I can
Okay.
put it on or you know how to do it on the website, or if you want me to do it, however,
Okay.
so we can put that on there as well. And then I'll link it to Facebook and also,
Okay,
cut and paste it onto Facebook so people know. And then maybe Erin can send it through MailChimp, through all of our
okay.
people, so they know. I mean, we should have done that January 11th, as soon as it was approved.
We didn't do
We didn't even think of that. Yeah.
that. Okay.
Actually, it does say it on the process, it says no application will be accepted after a certain date. If you look at the process for the MPG grants on our website, it does say that applications will only be accepted from this time to this time, and it won't be accepted after that time.
Yeah, but
So,
she said within the time.
Like if there was still money in the MPG, it is, I think
It was
it's like, it's set
quarterly.
up for every end of the 2 months.
Every like
Right.
3 months.
Yeah, every like 2-3 months, it's set up like that, yeah.
Yeah, there were different open periods.
I was thinking that maybe, it's up to the executive committee, but, if they wish to come and submit their request, they can submit it, but you let them know that the next board is gonna have to deal with it.
Well, this is for the Loomis Day, so it'll
Oh.
already be.
It already have happened by
Yeah.
June.
But I'm just
Yeah.
saying that maybe they can have an option, that, okay, we might not do it this year, but guess what, we're gonna submit it today for next year. I'm just throwing that out there because, I mean, even though you say it's gonna pass, maybe they can use that for next year's. I'm just throwing that out there as a.
But their event is on, I think it's in June 11 or June
The
14.
very
So
early.
now,
Yeah.
even if they do it next year,
No, because they're still on this budget. The fiscal year doesn't end until June 30th.
They
So-
could probably submit it July 1st and give it to that new board. And
For the
then
next year, but they'll have to change their entire.
And they'll take care of it however they
application.
decide,
Right.
But then again, I see why you wanna set already an MPG.
well, I'm
So,
just-
so the next board could either adapt it or quickly get together and change it, yeah.
yeah, but then again, that would be kind of, other people come asking for MPGs and they're ahead of them. It would be like, hold on, you've been here, I was there in front of ours. That'd be a little kind of worms right there.
So that's all we have for the agenda. It's a fairly short agenda. I mean, it's definitely an agenda that we should get through. So that makes me happy. That's that. I don't have anything else.
I have a question. For the, seeing the executive committee chairs, will the membership and outreach committee doing outreach to the community to let them know that these seats are available to stakeholders, or how is that gonna?
The vacancies, you mean?
Well, you're gonna fill in the seats, right, for the vice president, I mean, isn't there supposed to be outreach to committee members to, from the membership and outreach to say, hey, there's, this is, or, you
To
know,
fill the vacancies. I mean,
Well, to fill the
community members
seats.
can't run for the
So-
executive committee,
to fill the seats,
to fill the vacancies.
right?
Well, I see what you're saying, because like, for example, for election committees, they always ask for all the information of the outreach chair, because outreach chair is supposed to work with each committee. So outreach chair needs to help us promote.
No, I know exactly what you're saying, that's why I didn't wanna fill in the last time, I said we haven't even advertised, we should advertise for at least 30 days, and the board said, no, we don't agree, these need to be filled now, and
Which
we
was
all
last
know, that there's people who want these seats, so there,
Yeah, and you just.
again,
just-
you guys gotta decide one way or another, it can't be
Well,
flip-flopping.
you just, actually made someone the interim chair for that committee, so maybe the interim chair can make a recommendation to, maybe do some outreach for, I mean, at least give it an effort.
At least a week, okay.
I can put
yes,
something
let's
on
get it
Facebook.
On Facebook and the web, so tomorrow I'm gonna send you an announcement update on the MPG.
On how you want me to word it, on
Yeah,
the
and
flyer,
also on
I'll
the
create a flyer and
vacancies.
send it, okay.
And the same like we had before, we'll have attached the application. I'll
Okay.
scan you the application.
On PDF, send it to me.
I actually have one here if you just want to take it home.
Yeah, if you have it.
Okay, I think we need a motion to approve the agenda as submitted. I mean, as discussed, as drafted.
Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Hold on.
A motion to approve the agenda as discussed and drafted.
I second. It's cute.
Are you done
Yes,
with the minutes?
I'm trying
Oh, you still
to
need-
keep up, I'm being fine now, I just finished putting that thing, Marlene asked for motion.
To approve the agenda
So just-
as discussed and drafted.
Just one more question
Oh,
before you
we do
adjourn.
have one more question too.
The process for the resignation of a board member from the board, that he has to submit his resignation to the full board. Well, did Gama email you, or?
Baba was
he-
removed for missing 2 meetings.
Right, but didn't he resign from
He
the?
removed. He was removed.
Oh,
Because he missed 2 consecutive, so it's an automatic removal.
He didn't resign.
I thought he resigned, because it says.
From corresponding
He
secretary.
resigned from the executive committee.
office.
And then he missed 2 meetings.
You know, it's funny that we don't see him no more.
Wow.
I think we don't see the derby dogs no more either.
No, no.
He came and got our money and ran.
So,
Me, Michelle, or you,
I
Michelle?
don't think he
Huh?
likes being
Me,
accused
you,
of
Michelle?
stealing.
I'm just throwing that out
Marlene
there.
motion-
It would be
yeah,
nice
Marlene
if they come
motion
back
the
and say,
agenda.
"It was nice being on the board."
Not the president,
she can?
Thanks, guys.
not the president, to create your own motion?
Yeah,
The chair
Robert-
can make a motion.
Robert's rule says chairs can do that.
Chair's gonna make a motion.
It says it on Robert's rule.
You want to make your own motion?
If you wanna make the
No,
motion,
I-
then you make it.
Is it one
Nobody
thing
was
about
making
motion?
it.
Just so it doesn't seem that the chair is pushing your own agenda, we push.
But it's
or you-
over.
You understand, we
I'm
did.
gonna withdraw my motion.
Oh, I didn't put it down that you did, you just, I just put
The
the,
meeting
asking
is
for
over
a
though.
motion.
I did ask for a motion.
Well, why would you
Oh, then
withdraw? You should just do it. You have every
No,
right
you-
according to Robert's rule to do it.
I don't wanna argue, we're
Just
already
say that
past
now, and You
time.
can do it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. It's on
We
the,
always use,
I'll show it to you.
Anthony, then are you making the motion?
I will then.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'll make the motion that we approve the February 3rd?
Third, yes.
February 3rd? Agenda as set and established by the executive committee.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor of approving the February 3rd agenda as, say, what do you got?
I,
300, motion passes. Can I make a motion to adjourn? Is there any opposition to adjourning this meeting?
Approve it.
none.
Motion to approve.
Meeting adjourned.
Got the vote.
Voting's the same as it.